That's another John Belushi.
Whatever you want.
Okay. Hi, everybody. I'm glad you get a chance to see my capstone. I put a lot of work into it, so I hope you enjoy it. In my personal opinion, I believe that life is like a stage, and each of us are the main actors on our own stage. To get support, look at our stage crew, which is made up of our family, friends, those we care about, and those who want us to see us do well. They offer advice, they modify our stage, and they give you criticism whether you like it or not, because usually they are there to help you. As an actor, your goal on stage is to put on the best act possible. But only you can choose that. You can either put on a fantastic act that's remembered and is supported by your audience, which is people you meet in life, like your boss, your coworkers, basically anybody. And whether you like it or not, we're judged in life by our audience, and we just have to accept that fact. So going back to being the actor on stage, it's up to you to put on that act. If you put on a lackluster act that's forgotten or not memorable, you'll fall from the depths of time. You want to make sure you go up there and put forth your best effort and hope everyone remembers you. Just put everything you got on stage. That's what you're there. You're there to perform and show everybody what you have. For me, in middle school, I didn't really have a stage. I was kind of just wandering around in the dark, really. I was the kid in the hallway that, I would wish people would talk to me, people would, but they would do that out of pity, which really wasn't, my favorite thing. I wouldn't recommend it. I mean, at the time I was like, wow, people talk to me, but then I realized now that, it just felt bad, so that was not fun. It was tough, it was lonely, and I just kind of felt like I was in a rut. I really felt like I was just going to stay there forever, be the one kid who nobody wanted to hang out with or talk with, and just kind of blaze my own trail. Not in a good way, just kind of move by myself. I never thought anything was going to change, and I just thought life was just going to go on. I was just going to be there. I'm just a poor boy, though my story is seldom told. I have squandered my resistance for a pocket full of mumbles, such are promises. All lies and jest, still a man hears what he wants there and disregards the rest. So I was just a poor boy. But then finally middle school ended, and I thought high school would be a great chance to start over. And in some ways it was. I met some new people, and that was fun. But they weren't the kind of people I wanted to spend a lot of time around, center myself with. They probably weren't the best examples to lead me by, and I just kind of felt like I was just following a different version of the rut from before. But I vividly remember one day walking down the hall, still kind of, sad in my own little world, and then I saw a flyer on the wall. Now, I'd never seen this flyer before, and it caught my eye. So I looked at the flyer, and the flyer itself said the Fall JV Show. Now, I didn't know what that was, but little did I know that was a spark that would ignite and help my stage begin to grow. But before I talk about that, I should briefly talk about how I got into playing guitar. I got my guitar 2009 when I was in 8th grade for Christmas, and I began lessons in the following January. So in my lessons, I began learning simple things like the notes of the guitar: E, A, D, G, B, and E. And I put them together to get chords. So C, G, D, E minor. And I put the chords together into songs. One of the first songs I ever learned was "Blowin' in the Wind" by Bob Dylan. How many roads must a man walk down before you call him a man? And then as time went on, as I practiced more, I began to learn more complicated chord structures, such as orchestral chords, which are usually more of blues, jazz, or classical guitar. They offer a more well-rounded tone compared to rock chords, which are considered more dry by music standards. And my teacher saw how quickly I caught on, and he just told me to take it and run with it. That's something that he saw I had a talent for, and I should pursue it as much as I can. Singing is not much of a glamorous story. I only did it because people told me I should, honestly. I had always sung along the radio or in the shower when I had a song stuck in my head. I didn't take it seriously really that much until later on in high school. So at this point, my freshman year, I was just toying with it, why not? What's the worst thing that could happen? So back to the show. The auditions were the next week, and I wanted to pick a song that would be different than everybody else, because I wanted to be remembered. I wanted to put myself out there. So I chose Blackbird by the Beatles, because it's not like an everyday kind of song you'll hear. It was a little different. The finger-picking structure complements the vocals really well, and overall just a well-rounded song, and I liked it. So I spent the whole week leading up to the audition just practicing every single day, making sure I had it down. And then the audition happened, and I nailed the audition, and that was a victory in itself right there. Excuse me. And then the next week was the show. And then while I was waiting for the show to happen backstage, I was like the third actor, so since the solo acts go first. I was really nervous. I was just kind of my own world. Everything felt so far away, and I was just kind of like thinking to myself. I didn't talk to anybody. I didn't really move. I just kind of stood there behind the stage by myself. And then I didn't snap back into it until I heard my name called onto the stage. And then I snapped back into it, and I walked onto the stage. And I looked out, and everything was just really dark. And the light was on me, and I felt like the light was an island, and everything around me was like a dark ocean of like the unknown and like what's out there. I didn't know what it was. And then I froze. I was like, I don't think I could do this. I panicked. I doubted myself. But then I told myself, I got up there. I might as well just begin, like give it my best shot. Whatever happens, happens. Blackbird singing in the dead of night. Take these broken wings and learn to fly. All your life, you were only waiting for this moment to arise. Blackbird singing in the dead of night. Take these sunken eyes and learn to see. All your life, you were only waiting for this moment to be free. Blackbird fly, blackbird fly, into the light of a dark black night. And I was able to finish the rest of the song, which was I was really excited that I was able to finish, and the people applauded and cheered for me, and it gave me a sense of satisfaction that I'd never really felt before in my life, a sense of approval. And I was feeling so many emotions at once. I really wasn't paying attention to anybody else. I had to get pushed, kind of shoved off stage to make room for everybody else to continue with the show. I can't like hog the spotlight, that's bad. So I was pushed onto the band room, and I put my guitar away in my guitar case. And then the next day people came up to me and told me how well I did, and they didn't expect something like this from me. And that was completely new to me, and that was like, it all grew, it started then, and the stage began to grow, and I began to believe in myself. But that wouldn't have been possible without the instrument in my hand right here. This is my acoustic guitar, and it is by far one of my most prized possessions. And I feel like the best way to describe how I felt when I got it would be to read a passage from my capstone. It was Christmas Day, 2009. I woke from a night of little sleep and rushed to the Christmas tree, and what was in front of me was a spectacle to behold. There were tons of presents, all shapes and sizes, ranging from the size of a loaf of bread to huge boxes that made me stare in awe, wondering what gifts were in store for me. After we had opened all the presents, I was ready to go into my room and play with all the gizmos and gadgets I had just got, but then my father came out of his room with a huge instrument case. As he placed it down, I gave him a quizzical look. What could be inside, I pondered to myself. I opened the case, and that was the moment that changed everything. It was a Seagull S6 original acoustic guitar, and the moment I saw it, I was in love. Its light brown wood glistened in the reflection of the Christmas lights, the frets on the neck were smooth as silk, and the strings, since they were brand new, emitted a clear, warm tone whenever they were strummed. I just stared at it in awe, and my concentration wasn't broken until my parents informed me that I would start lessons in that following January. I then picked up my guitar, dashed into my room, took it out of the case, and just began to fool around. I had no knowledge about the guitar at all, so I really wasn't playing anything. But I didn't care at all. I just sat there on my bed, goofing around with my guitar, and waiting in excitement until it was time for my first lesson. So quickly, the guitar became my trusted companion in middle school when I was alone, kind of by myself. And I also went into high school as well. It was a confidence builder. Because when I wasn't making friends, I felt like I wasn't going the way I wanted to. I was heading in the wrong direction, and that wasn't the way I wanted to go. So I tried my best to break out. When I was a kid, the things I did were hidden under the grid. Really naive, I never believed that love could be so well hid. With regret, I'm willing to bet to say the older you get, it's harder to forgive and harder to forget. Get something short like a dagger at work. So first But when during that show, my freshman year, one of the things that helped me get me started, was the connotation of looking at my guitar and the confidence it gave me when I practiced. So I used that to push me through. So this instrument in my hand means more to me than anything. So as time went on, I took my craft more seriously. I practiced more. I tried to take my lessons more seriously, just basically tried to advance my skills as much as possible. But one of the biggest challenges I had to overcome, and when my stage I felt grew the most, was my junior year when I was at my church's youth retreat we do yearly called Breakaway. Now, for those who don't know what that is, it's a weekend retreat over President's Day weekend, and the overall goals are to meet new people, have fun, and deepen your faith in God. And every Saturday during that weekend, there's something called the entertainment show, where roughly 100 people audition, but only like 15 make it. And I auditioned my sophomore year, and I thought I did really well, but I was cut due to the fact they told me that only upperclassmen make the show, which I thought really wasn't a valid excuse. I thought whoever plays well deserves to be in the show. So here we are the next year, my junior year. I wasn't really nervous for the show, I was just mostly angry. I really wanted to be in it. So I was angry, annoyed, and determined. And I wanted to pick a song that would show that I wasn't messing around, I was serious this time. I picked Let Her Go by Passenger. It's a complicated song with detailed finger picking, and the vocals are deep. And it all just, if you mash it together, it's just a good song overall. It's personally one of my favorites. So my name was called for the audition. I went up on stage, I poured my heart out into the song, and that was that. People applauded, people said they liked it and went well. So I was about to walk out with a smile on my face, but I stopped because the next act, or the next audition, was behind me, and I heard the same exact song being played. And that caught my ear, so I turned around, and there were 3 girls. One was singing and playing the guitar, one was playing the violin, one was playing the piano. And they did a fantastic job on the song. And my only thought was that I'd begin to feel defeated, because I felt they were going to pick them, because there was more people in their group. They want to include as many people as possible. So I thought I got beat out again, even though I poured my heart into the song. So I was about to walk out all defeated, but then one of the leaders, his name was Mike, he came up to me, and he told me that he wants both of us to work together to be in the show. So I was like, great, I made it in the show. That was a really comforting feeling. But then the next thing was I told him, I was like, Mike, there's only like 2 hours till showtime. How are we going to get this through? And then he told me, you guys got to work it out, figure it out. So I had to frantically rush around to find them. And then I eventually found them backstage, and I don't remember their names, but I do remember how hard we worked. I remember talking to them about, okay, what's the tempo going to be here? Do you want me to play here? How loud? How soft? You don't want me to harmonize here? Okay, are you going to do this here? And we spent 2 hours talking it over and just practicing and playing our hearts out, working for it. And then it was showtime. And then we went backstage, looking at the set list, and I found out there were 14 acts ahead of us, and we were the last one. So then the pressure was on top of us even more, because we had to cap off the entire show with people I didn't even know. So naturally, I felt very similar to that I did during my first show. I didn't really talk. It wasn't as bad though. I didn't just really talk to anybody. I just kind of sat in my own, just thinking, working my own thoughts. But I was still so nervous as when we got up on stage to do the act. We were introducing the crowd, the group, and I forgot one of the girls' names for the entire campus, which was pretty embarrassing. I really it threw me off a little bit, and I was afraid I was going to be able to continue or go on. But I just shook that off, and I just played it. And I was like, we've worked hard for this. We might as well try our best.
You only need the light when it's burning low. Only miss the sun when it starts to snow. Only know you love her when you let her go. Only know you've been high when you're feeling low. Only hate the road when you're missing home. Only know you love her when you let her go. And you let her go. Only know you've been high when you feel
company, and it was fantastic, and the violin solo was there, and it was better than I thought it was going to be. And at the end, the crowd thought it was amazing, and we were astonished at how well it went. I mean, everybody thought it was fantastic. And it was in that moment I realized that I could do anything I set my mind to. I was able to beat the odds and perform in a show with 500 plus people, with people I don't even know on stage beside me in like 2 hours time. And even to this day, I still use that to motivate myself. Like, if I can perform in this show, I can do anything I set my mind to. All I have to do is just believe and like push myself to the limit, and I'll be able to do it. And that my stage grew the most, and I try to build off of that each and every single day, because I want to try and get beyond that point, even better than that point before. My stage has grown just so much over the course of high school. It went from being nothing to everything that I have, and I have my stage crew that help me, offer advice, pick me up when I'm feeling down, and I was an insecure kid to start off. Now I'm confident in who I am. I'm not afraid like about what anybody thinks of me. I do my own thing with my own. I can do anything kind of attitude, and that just helps and means so much to me. I'm looking forward to how this is going to help me the next step in life, like in college. And then I'm looking forward to the step after that. Like, I don't know what's in store for me, but hopefully I can use the skills I've applied and like taught myself to get through it. And I'm having the time of my life, and I hope to continue to do so, because being an actor on my stage means everything to me.
Another turning point, a fork stuck in the road. Time grabs you by the wrist, directs you where to go. So make the best of this test and don't ask why. It's not a question but a lesson learned in time. It's something unpredictable, but in the end it's right. I hope you're at the time of your life.